All right, it is no surprise that so many people are lining up for Powerball tickets. According to a new report by Bankrate.com, 63% of Americans don't have enough savings to pay for a $500 car repair or a $1,000 emergency room visit.
But it does turn out one unlikely group is more prepared than the rest: millennials.
What?
According to a new report by Fidelity Investments, this newest group of workers is showing the greatest increase in their savings rate compared with any other generation. Joining us now from San Francisco is Laura Adams, host of the Money Girl podcast and also a personal finance expert. Laura, great to see you. You know, there's two reports out, one saying that we don't save enough, another one saying that we do. So what's the story?
Yeah, well, Americans are historically bad savers. Right now, we're saving about 5%. And historically, when we look at the last 50 years, it's only been about 8%. We really need to be saving 2, 3, even 4 times the amount that we're saving now. But fortunately, millennials have caught on to the fact that saving is a good thing. They're using their 401ks at work. They're really, on top of it. So kudos to them for being on top of the ball.
So, I mean, are Americans finally learning to manage their money? Because we've always been really, really bad at savings. I mean, it's something that I have known for many, many years. In fact, I'm looking at a chart right now that shows the savings rates of the United States versus the rest of the world. And countries like China, which we've been talking about a lot in the news, Singapore, Korea, India, Germany, Russia, Japan, all have better saving rates than the United States.
Yes, we, historically have been very bad. And I do think that the younger generation is starting to catch on. They saw what happened in the recession. They are really leery of credit. They understand that they need to have cash in the bank to stay safe. So fortunately, I think they have learned their lesson for the most part. But older Americans, unfortunately, are still way below the levels that they should be for saving.
So for those people that don't have enough savings for those unexpected expenses, what are their options? How do you do it?
Yeah, unfortunately, so many people turn to credit cards, they turn to loans, they get into debt. That's why it's so important to have emergency savings to begin with. There are some people who say, yeah, if I have savings, I'm going to dip into the savings for those needs instead of using credit cards. And there are some people that turn to family and friends to get them out of a tight spot.
You know, some of the data has shown that there may be something bigger going on here. In fact, it's because, maybe 20 or 30 years ago, Americans were more likely to have their jobs for a much longer period of time. They were more likely to retire in those jobs, enjoy a nice retirement. And now, because that has seemed to have gone away, younger people, millennials, are not so reliant on the things that our parents and our grandparents were relying on. Is that what we're looking at here?
Vlad, that is so true. The younger generation really doesn't want to be in a career for a long period of time. They like the idea of switching, moving around. They like the idea of being mobile. And so they do understand that they're probably not going to get a lot of job security in terms of retirement. It's up to them to create their own security in retirement. They're also really into experiences. They tend to use money to do things that are fun, to go on trips with friends and, and have really unique experiences. So they do have a really different mindset when it comes to work and to savings in general.
Looking ahead to 2016, where do you think people are likely to cut their spending?
Yeah, the biggest area that people always say, I want to cut back at restaurants. So dining out, lunches out, that's a big area where people realize they're overspending. And truly, that is a great way to cut back. We also hear people saying cable, want to cut back on those utilities. Other people are saying alcohol. They realize that if you're going out and you're spending a lot on drinks, that's where a lot of restaurants are making big money. So if you can have a drink at home or cut back at a restaurant, you're going to save money. So I think it does depend on, your stage in life about where you're looking to cut money, but those are all great ways to cut back. The more we can cut back, the more we can put money in our emergency funds or even in our retirement funds.
Personal finance expert Laura Adams. Laura, thank you so much. Appreciate it.